Today, cook spare ribs. Show you how we're going to do it on the Joetisserie and Kamado Joe Classic. Stay tuned. Welcome to cooking outside the box. Today, spare ribs on the Joetisserie on the Kamado Joe Classic II. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share, comment, subscribe. There's a little bell. I don't know what it does. I'm new to this whole thing. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you how we do it on the Joetisserie. Alright guys, this is that rack of spare ribs. I took a whole rack and just kind of trimmed it down. As you can see, squared it off. We took the chain here off the back and took this big bone that's right here on the top side of the thickest part of the rib, and we took that off. And we just kind of squared the whole thing off, just to make it uniform. Sometimes I like doing that, especially for these cooks on the Joetisserie, and sometimes I like leaving it whole and just doing the whole rack of spares. But for this, for the Joetisserie, it just makes way more sense to go ahead, square it off, and have a good looking set of St. Louis style spare ribs to start this. So we're gonna get coated down with mustard, and I'll come back and show you what that looks like. Then we're gonna season it up, let them sit for a little while the smoker comes up to temp. Alright guys, so we got the Joetisserie rolling about 250. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing put on here. So I always try to do my best to kind of know where I'm gonna be, so there's not as much adjustment when we get out here, but there's always a little. Pop that open. So that's just put them on, and you'll see this flop around here in a second. So that end kind of flopping over, it's going to stiffen up. So again, just play around with it. I don't think you're going to do anything wrong. So just put the meat on, let it cook slowly, and that's what we're going to do. I had the lid open a little too long, so we're going to shut it back down. Just for reference, we got our vent dead on about halfway on the top, sitting on about just over probably 3/4 of an inch on the bottom. And all right, see you guys in a few hours. We're not going to open this for an hour at least. All right, sports fans, we're about an hour and a half in, and I just wanted to show you this just perfectly nice little blue smoke. You can rarely catch it on camera, but we were able to get a good shot of it right here. So in here I did a nice layer of Kamado Joe big block charcoal, which is what I really love cooking with, and I layered it with about 3 good apple wood chunks. And like I said, we're an hour and a half in. We're letting her spin. 250 on the dial. I'm not gonna open it right now. Just rare to get that little blue smoke coming out of there where you can see it, but we're just at that right twilight hour where you can see it. So all right, sports fans, so hanging right in at 250. These things have been on for right at an hour. We're just gonna check them out real quick. So what we're looking for here, I'm gonna hit you with a little zoom, is we're looking just to see if that bark is starting to kind of firm up. You can see the ribs are firmed up, nothing's flopping around, everything's staying in place. So our bark's starting to firm up a little. This is the first time using this rub with some ribs, but it does have some sugar content, so we got to watch out for that. We don't want it to burn. Other than that, they're firming up. We're an hour in, and we're going to come back and see you guys here in another hour. So another hour before we open up. Don't get impatient. Just let them do their thing. All right. See ya. All right, sports fans. We're about an hour, 2 hours in. And man, these things are looking awesome. I'm gonna give you a quick zoom. Our bark has set. They look plenty juicy, so I really don't think I'm gonna spritz these. I'm just gonna let them keep rolling. I'm thinking we got probably another hour before we decide to do anything. So I'm gonna close them back up. We're just gonna keep on rolling. Stay tuned. All right, sports fans, that's how cold it is out here. We need a little heat. But we're on the 3-hour check-in. We are dead on 250. So let's see what this thing looks like. Man, that rack of ribs is looking good. All right, sports fans, we are just right at, just shy of the 4-hour mark. And these things are looking delicious. The bone still has not pulled back as much as I would want it to, but I'm thinking I'm going to take them off. That bone is pulling apart. So I think I'm going to take them off. I think I'm going to wrap them in butcher paper. I'm going to let them sit for a while I finish the corn off. That bone's pulling out. That bone's just pulling completely apart of the joint. So I think they're done. All right, sports fans. So we just took this rack of spare ribs off. We're going to take them. We're going to wrap them in butcher paper. We ran them at a solid 4 hours for about 250 degrees the entire 4 hours. So we're going to take them, wrap them in butcher paper, let them rest while we get the rest of the sides ready. First, I want to thank my sponsors, Big T Automotive. So if you're in the market for a vehicle, whether it's a Kia, go to Kia LaGrange, Kia Auburn, Tallahassee Automotive, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Go see them, get you a vehicle. Second, Hunt's Oyster Bar. If you're in the Panama City area, go see Hunt's Oyster Bar. Now, when I say sponsors, nobody paid me to do this, but I work for Licky Automotive and very good friends with the folks that have Hunt's Oyster Bar. I guess they just sold it, so used to be good friends with the owners of Hunt's Oyster Bar. But either way, go to Hunt's Oyster Bar, get some good oysters. Licky Automotive, get you a good vehicle. We're gonna wrap these ribs up, and we're gonna let them rest for a little while. Cheers. All right, sports fans, we're gonna cut into this rack of ribs. Ooh. All right, check that smoke ring out. See what it looks like. Man, that's good.